How do you save a lot of money in Germany? And I'm not talking about saving a couple of cents here and there. No, I'm going to talk about 7 tips in this video, and if you implement them correctly, you're going to save hundreds or even thousands of euros per month. And this money added over many years, well, that's going to be quite an amount. But before we can even think about saving itself, it's very important to understand where your money is going and where it is coming from every month. Because many people don't have an overview of their finances and, they underestimate how many daily expenses add up, and it's super easy to feel like I'm not spending that much. I've been there. But if you break it down, you might be surprised. So we need a way to see how our cash flow looks like every month. Without this overview, the tips I'm going to share in this video won't help you much. So as a basic step 0, please track your income and expenses. Make a list of everything you earn and everything you spend. And you can do this in many different ways, like by creating Excel tables or budget calculators. I personally use a free app called Finanzguru to see all my subscriptions, regular bills and other payments. I put the link to Finanzguru in the video description. As a small action step, please create an account and connect your bank accounts to it. Your future self will thank you for that. So the next thing we want to do is optimize your electricity and gas bills. I know this is an unconventional tip, but it works wonders and you get to save so much money. So for example, if you're renting a new apartment, you might be on the default rate set by the provider, which is usually more expensive. And over the months, the gas and electricity bills will cost you hundreds of euros more. So here's exactly how to lower those bills. So the first step is to compare providers online. In Germany, there are amazing comparison websites like check24.de that lets you find the best electricity and gas rates in your area. Because let's be honest, electricity and gas, these are things that we maybe think about once in the beginning, but then we forget them. But it can happen that the cost increases or there are new affordable providers. And things can change, and it's always good to know what contract you have right now. Please be mindful of electricity and gas contracts. Contracts tend to renew automatically at higher rates, so please set a reminder to review them annually. And don't be afraid to ask around in your neighborhood or among friends to see if there are better local deals. So next I want to talk about phone and internet packages. They are tricky in Germany, but a few smart choices can save you a lot of money here. I can recommend you going for a bundle deal if possible, because many providers in Germany offer discounts if you combine services like internet, phone and even TV sometimes. Some bundles even come with extra perks, like a second SIM card or international data options. I would say here it's the same with electricity and gas. Check your contracts regularly, because it can happen that hidden fees or add-ons like an extra SIM card or data plans can sneak in, especially if your contract renews automatically. And a lot of people don't read the contract terms properly or ask questions when they buy something. They usually notice it when it's too late and they are a couple of months in, and then it's really difficult to cancel the contracts. A lot of contracts from traditional providers have long minimum periods. They are often up to 24 months. So if you don't like to be bound to a contract, please go for newer providers that offer month-to-month contracts. And this can be a post or prepaid SIM card, for example. Again, comparison websites like check24 are your best friend here. And there's also a funny thing in Germany. If your internet speed is less than 80% of what's advertised in your contract, you may be eligible for a partial refund through the Federal Network Agency's free speed test tool. You can check that one out and test your internet speed. Alright, let's dive into something that doesn't get enough attention. Bank fees. Bank fees are one of the easiest things to cut down, but many people don't notice them or forget that they even exist. So let's make sure that you're not losing money here. Alright, so whenever you're setting up a bank account in Germany, please go for a no-fee account, a free bank account. A lot of banks here charge monthly fees for basic services or for international transfers. And sometimes they're going to advertise that an account is free, but there's a catch. A requirement might be that you have at least 1,000 euros coming in each month. And if you don't meet that condition, boom, they start adding fees. And we definitely don't want that. Let me tell you, my old bank started charging me around 6 euros per month after 2 years, out of nowhere. So I switched over to a better option right away. At the moment, I'm using C24, which is ranked as the best free bank account in Germany. I also put a link to them in the video description. Now, something that is related to your bank account are ATMs. So one more quick tip to save money, watch out for ATM fees. If you use an out-of-network ATM, it can cost you up to 5 euros or more per cash withdrawal, which is honestly just throwing money away. To avoid this, check which ATMs are free with your bank and make a mental note of the ones in your area. Alright, so let's talk about something that we like to spend a lot of money on, me included. Food. Eating out is quite expensive in Germany, and if you're used to affordable takeout and delivery, like in many Asian countries, German prices for eating out might shock you. Ordering delivery here, trust me, you can go broke faster than you think. Eating out adds up quickly, especially with a little extras like drinks and tips. And before you know it, you've spent hundreds of euros per month. It's really easy. So here are some easy ways to manage food costs without sacrificing too much convenience. So the first thing I can recommend everybody is to set some kind of limit for takeout and eating out, because this can get out of control very quickly. And trust me, I've been there. For example, set yourself the limit to order food no more than once a week. Try to cook more at home, which saves you a lot of money, and on top of that, allows you to eat even healthier. I cook almost all my meals at home and I eat out about once a week. This is my current balance and I'm very happy with that. And one more hack that I use is ordering groceries online. I do this every 2 weeks and it's a game changer. You might think that getting groceries delivered is fancy and expensive, but the prices are actually the same as buying them at the supermarket. Plus, you don't have to carry home heavy bags. And this sucks, especially in the German winter when you sometimes have to battle snow and rain to even come home. All for some chicken and rice. I'll never do that again. So ordering groceries honestly changed my life. And one more tip, in Germany, grocery prices vary quite a bit between stores. For the best deals, shop at discounters like Aldi, Lidl or Kaufland, where prices are lower without sacrificing quality. And one more way to save is by buying store-branded products. Many German supermarkets have their own lines of food. For example, in Germany there's a supermarket called Rewe and they have their own branded products which is called Ja. Or in the case of Edeka, it's Gut und Günstig. They offer good value and they are often just as good as the more expensive options. Next, let's talk about insurance. In Germany, understanding insurance is essential because some policies are mandatory, but you also don't want to overpay by having coverage you don't need. So let's go over a few steps you can take to handle your insurance costs. So first of all, make a list of all insurance policies you currently have. This might be health, liability, accident, home or car insurance. Basically everything you're paying for at the moment. And as a next step, I want you to review each one critically. Ask yourself if each is essential or if it's something you could live without, at least for now. For example, if you're young and healthy, you might not need extra health add-ons that mainly benefit older age groups. And one more thing is to consider adjusting your deductible. A higher deductible means paying a bit more out of pocket in the event of a claim, but you're going to save on monthly premiums. So the amount that leaves your bank account is lower, but in case something happens, you might pay a little bit more. But if you rarely need to use this insurance, the savings can add up over time. And most importantly, review and cancel any unnecessary policies. Extended warranties for electronics or gadget insurance often sound useful and companies try to sell you hard on this one. But most of the time it's not worth it, especially if the item's replacement costs is even lower than the amount you would pay for insurance. Now there are also other common sneaky expenses that suck away your cash. And the amounts you spend on streaming services, digital subscriptions, gym memberships and clubs can easily become very big if you're not careful. This also happened to me many times. So what I do is I frequently review all my subscriptions. Do you have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney+, DAZN, Spotify, Audible, FitX? And please ask yourself, do you really use all of these? It doesn't hurt because you can resubscribe anytime you want. But seeing 10 euros, 20 euros, 50 euros being deducted every month without using the services really hurts. At the moment, I spend 12 euros per month on 4 different subscriptions. And again, I manage them in Finanzguru to be safe. In case you have other good tips, please write them down in the comments. Subscribe and join our huge Discord community. Love you and stay focused.